Okay, I'm just going to comment on Steve Ward's comment of a polyamorous critic or polyamorous advocate, and he called that person a swinger. He does not. Steve Ward does not understand what polyamorous means. It does not mean that you are a swinger. It does not mean that you are just having multiple relationships just for sex. But clearly, Steve has a worldview that only uh, anything that involves multiple partners and includes sex must be swinging. That's clearly not. It's clearly an incorrect view. It's a false view. It's a wrong view. It's clearly provable. It's not even debatable that he's wrong. It's just that simple. Um, to make the presumption that a polyamorous person is a swinger is very erroneous in a conception. Many polyamorous hate swinging and find it disgusting, and many swingers find polyamory disgusting. Okay, there's a moral conflict. A swinger would look at polyamory as absolutely nuts. How can you act? How can you risk? They believe that quote unquote emotional relationships in romance can only be monogamous. Uh, However, sexuality does not have to be monogamous, and they would and some of them would find a moral problem with that. Uh, on the other hand, a polyamorous would find simply sexuality outside of a loving relationship cheapening the ideal of sexuality and find that morally repulsive. So Steve needs to do his homework instead of assuming that someone's just saying they're polyamorous in order to be a swinger. He should actually demonstrate evidence of the case. So I think that Steve needs to rethink this. I will actually examine Steve's arguments on the web, and you guys can determine whether Steve is out of line. But this is just a classic case of simple ignorance of what a polyamorous relationship is. The Mormons practice a form of polyamory, although it is polygamy. They practice polyamory. Um, they are not. It's not simply a sexual relationship. It's simply a mainstream relationship, and how that mainstream relationship is viewed. Sexuality is part of that, or it could not be part of it. So Steve's just simply ignorant on this topic. Now, I'm not saying that Steve is foolish or makes erroneous judgments on other things, but he simply has no clue on what he's talking about. So I'll end with that. Thanks.